Hey guys, it's Kat.Beanie, and today in the Old World Survival Let's Play, we're gonna be digging out this side of the house to make way for the underground crop farm. Um, it's not gonna be automatic crop farm because I generally don't do redstone. I find it more enjoyable to play the game uh, the way it is, but I am in awe of the people that do use redstone contraptions. I have no idea how you manage it, but it's amazing to watch. I mean, the most redstone thing I've ever made was a sugarcane farm, which reminds me we also need to go find some sugarcane because, you know, we need books and an enchanting table and all that good stuff. So let's just keep digging this out just now. Um, some people have asked me recently why I was doing these videos, and it's as you might have noticed that I go and that a lot, and that's because I have a processing delay, which means that my brain takes longer to process information than a person with a neurotypical brain. And I thought I am not great at speaking, and one of the ways that I could combat that was to speak more. And the only way that I thought of doing that, well, not the only way I thought of doing that, obviously, I could try and talk to um, actual people, but one of the ways I felt comfortable trying to improve that was by making YouTube videos. So if you've ever been in the position where you're not great at socializing, and you want to improve, or you want to improve just speaking in general, I do recommend trying to do this because there's no pressure. I mean, there is obviously an expectation for you to talk and chat and come up with topics, but you can stop whenever you want. There is no expectation on you to have to continue should you need to stop talking. And you'll see in some of my videos, some of it's just due to family life, being a parent, where I've had to stop recording and then come back to it later, and it'll look as if it's been edited together in a funny looking way. But you can always, stop, take a break, go back to it later, and continue. And that's one of the things I love about making and editing, not just YouTube videos, but the Sims 4 videos, and obviously in the Among Us videos that I put up, which I do with my family and friends. I don't have the talking in that one because you would just hear my side of the conversation, because my mother-in-law and my brother-in-law, they're in a different household, obviously, with COVID, and my husband and my daughter sit in the living room with me when we're playing. All you would hear would be our side of the conversation, and I think it's better just to have it to the music, and you can see what's going on that way. So that is one of the things that I don't obviously talk in. Right, I want it in layers, so I'm gonna take this bit out. I want to do like one layer for crops, go down a few steps, another layer for potatoes and carrots, down a few steps, another layer for beetroot and pumpkins and melons, and because I had the same thing, like I am terrible for not keeping my Minecraft worlds. Is one thing I am notorious for. As soon as I um think that I am done with it, I get rid of it, and some of them I regret doing so because I've had some good ideas in there and some good builds, and I just deleted them and they're gone, and now I have to sort of recreate those builds from memory. So try not to get rid of your Minecraft worlds, folks. I know if you're like me, I like to have everything neat and organized and meticulous, and obviously having a whole bunch of Minecraft worlds there in my list, it just drives me a little bit crazy, and it's not beneficial for my cam. But oh dear, I'm gonna have to sort this bit out. I forgot I took this bit. Let's see how far we can get down. Yeah, but with having done that, I have missed out on a lot of the stuff that I'd made, which I really enjoyed. As I said, I have done a version of this crop farm before, and it was in a sort of underground hobbit type build, and I had a glass roof and a jungle tree, so I had a sort of tree house above it, and then I had the hobbit type build underneath, and you could see everything, and it led out onto this like sort of ocean biome. And the crop farm was one of my favourites, and I don't know why I've not tried to recreate it since, but it was one of my favourite designs that I've made, and it's not an uncommon thing. As you can see in a lot of the redstone ones, they have the crops going down in layers so that the water can go down and farm them automatically, which is great, but I don't need automatic farming. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. This needs to be 5 blocks wide. I have to sort this bit out. Right, I think that's as wide as that's going to get. So we can put some sand in here. Yeah. look a bit more natural. Because I don't want it looking as if I just dug a whole bit out of there. There we go. As you will also notice, I sometimes just forget to speak, and I have trouble doing two things at once, which I'm also trying to work on. And they say it's men that have problem with multitasking. No, that's kind of sexist, but yeah, so these are two things that I need to try and work on, and this is the way I have decided to do it. If you have anything that, you feel that you're not great at, there are always different creative ways that you can try and improve. You do not need to be sat over a desk reading God knows what information that's just not going in your brain. Everyone learns in a different way. I have difficulty, not just because of my hearing, but I have difficulty listening to people. I struggle to focus, and I am therefore not great in a classroom environment. So you need to find a way that works for you. And if learning sitting at a desk reading a book doesn't help, then please try and find a different outlet, because everyone can learn. It doesn't matter how intelligent you are. It doesn't matter whether you have an additional support need or a neurological condition or things like that. Yet that may change the capacity in which you learn, like me. But everyone learns at different speeds, and it just means that you need to find the right situation for you, because I know when I was in school and because I was, not to toot my own horn, but because I was very intelligent at school, my learning difficulties were overlooked, because I was smart enough, but it still caused me a whole heap of problems later in life, because when you're in your adult years, and you're looking for a job or you're going back to school and you don't know the basic difference between there and there, where and where, and you are abbreviations, it's not easy, and it's not because of ignorance, and it's not because I didn't try to learn. It's just that was something that was difficult for me, and because of my other attributes, shall we say, it was overlooked. And I really wish it hadn't been, because I wasn't diagnosed with dyslexia until I was an adult, which really sort of hindered me in a way, because when I got the report back to say this is why you think and act the way you do, it was amazing for me to read. It explains so much of my behaviour, and if you do have difficulties in an area, or if you have a child with difficulties in an area and someone is turned around and goes, no, wait, you'll catch up, or they'll catch up, no, please have it looked at and ask for help, because it might be a case of they're just taking a little bit longer and they need a little bit extra time, and that's fine. But sometimes, there is an underlying issue that needs to be addressed. And with people trying to placate others with saying, oh no, it's okay, they'll catch up, it doesn't help. Everything might be fine, but then again, early intervention is key in all areas and aspects and everything else. Early intervention is essential. So please, if you have any concerns about yourself or someone that you care about, please look at getting help. And if it turns out to be, maybe they just need an extra couple of minutes on their schoolwork, or maybe they need a tutor to help them with this area because they're not quite grasping it, that's fine. But if it turns out that there is a learning difficulty, or they're learning disabled, or they have another neurological condition, oh dear, what the then that's something that desperately needs to be addressed so that they can get the right support. Oh my word, that was not great. Right, spider guy, where is my please tell me I didn't lose my sword. What we got? I think it's the torches are down there, so some of my stuff's out here. So if you have any concerns about anything like that, please have it addressed. Don't be, because I was put off with people saying, oh, it's fine, just wait, it'll be nothing, it'll turn out to be nothing, when actually, it was something. Both my children are autistic, and I was told, wait, they'll catch up, it'll be fine. Well, I was told that with my daughter, and she wasn't diagnosed until she was 6, and she had a lot of issues in primary school because of that. So when my son wouldn't talk at the age of 14 months, I'm not saying fluent sentences, but when he didn't have any words, I was at the health visitor saying, something's going on here. And it might have just have been the case that he needed some speech and language therapy to help him talk, but unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, my son is amazing the way he is. It just turned out that he's autistic, and we had to see the paediatrician and speech and language and everything else and get him the support that he needed. And because he got his diagnosis, we identified similar attributes in my daughter, and then she was actually diagnosed subsequent to my son being diagnosed, and obviously not everything, if you do have an issue, not everything is going to turn out to be obviously a condition like that. There are, why do I keep doing that? As I said, most of the time, it's just going to be a minor thing that you or the person you care about needs a little bit of extra help with, and that's absolutely fine. There is no shame in having a learning disability, or just needing extra support in one area. There's because I see a lot of people getting upset and trying to be this ideal version of perfect when nobody is. And it breaks my heart sometimes seeing people upset because the expectations that they had for themselves, or the expectations they had for someone else or their child, aren't what they thought it would be, and that happens. There is some people don't like this term, but there is a sort of grieving process that comes when you get a diagnosis of any sort, or if your child or family member or person you care for gets a diagnosis. But there is also the sort of relief of finally knowing, why this is going on, why you do this the way you do, or why they do something the way they do it. There is an immense relief in just having that information and going, right, well, now I can work with this. Now I know what I'm doing. And then you can get the help that you need, because it's very frustrating struggling for so long and not understanding why. And if you've ever been in that position, I feel for you. I understand. I have been there myself. I have been there. I have watched my children deal with that aspect of life, and it's not pleasant for anyone involved. But on to a serious subject, we have had a lot of snow here in my part of Scotland, and the kids have been out on sledges and everything else is enjoying it, and I have been using stomach muscles I honestly didn't know that I had. So if you've ever been out exercising and enjoying the snow, if you're in Scotland or any other country that has snow, can you let me know how your stomach muscles are faring up, because mine have been battered black and blue apparently. They are protesting all the apparent exercise I didn't know I was doing, because I woke up the next day and I'm like, oof. Yeah. So I think it's just when you're walking through snow, it's quite difficult sometimes, and my body obviously did not approve. Yeah, this isn't exactly looking as crisp and as clean as I wanted it to, but we will get there eventually. And I need to go down and mine for some iron, because I'm almost out of pickaxes and shovels. What I had on my previous version of this in one of my old worlds was that these bits were dug out longer, so I'm not sure what I'm going to put in here, but it won't be probably pumpkins and melons, and then beetroot in here, because beetroot's just pointless in my opinion, unless you need it for dye. And then the bigger areas will be used for obviously wheat and potatoes and carrots. And I'm not sure if I'm going to do an indoor sugarcane farm or an outdoor sugarcane farm. We'll see how that goes. As you can probably tell, I've got a little bit of a cold from being outside in all the snow and being at work with the kids and outside in the playground. So if I sound a bit choked up, unfortunately, that's the reason why. But yeah, it is what it is. I will live. It's just a cold. Yeah, so I'll dig this bit out and then I will stop for a bit, and we'll come back and do the next bit later. Oh, this bit's looking... I was worried that I would catch the tail end of the mine, maybe having this bit so close to it. Yeah, like what I was saying as beforehand, I had this sort of thingy and then it went down again. In more areas and then down again, and then it had the mine at the end of the crop farm, which led down to Y11. But obviously on this one I've got the mine parallel to the crop farm, so I was worried like at the top area that it would just I wouldn't be able to dig so far across because of it. Right, I'll take this bit out, put the dirt in, and then we will stop for the moment. And hopefully get this bit lit up. No other mobs spawn down here, because that was not fun. I mean, got blown to smithereens by a creeper. At least I got some, got a bone, so I've got some bone meal. upsides of getting blown up. It also blew up the skeleton. At least we got a lot of dirt to fill in these bits with. Right, we need to get some stairs and stuff in here. Yeah, I need to change this bit. I'll put the water at the back here, and then I'll have the pumpkin or melon seeds coming in here, and then they can obviously spawn on this bit. Since we don't have much room in this area. Yeah, and this bit will just be for... I might actually take this side out as well. Will be for beetroot. I mean, does anyone even use beetroot that much in their games? I mean, I just don't see the point of it. I mean, short of you know, dye, you can feed pigs with potatoes or carrots, and I mean, the only thing you really need it for is dye and villagers. Honestly, most of it will probably end up in the bone meal, like in the composter. Yeah. But what you gonna do? If anyone else thinks that beetroot is absolutely fantastic, can you please leave a comment down below and let me know why? Because I would be very interested in finding out. This place turned out quite big actually. Yeah, I'd be quite interested in finding out, because I don't see the appeal myself. And maybe it's just me, maybe I just don't get how important it is, or you know, but short of trading the villagers and dye, yeah, it's not something that I really think is essential in my gameplay. But anyway, thanks for watching guys. Please like and subscribe if you've liked the videos. You can follow me on Twitter, the link is on my channel. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.